Let's suppose a scenario where we have multiple CSV files and each of these files have an extra comma which is unwanted, and we want to remove that comma at the end of each file. And of course we want to use Python to do that. We want to automate the process instead of going through each file and deleting that comma. It could be 1,000, 2,000 files. You don't want to do that. It's very easy to do with Python. So in this video we're going to remove the comma, the last character, from a CSV file. But let's slow down a bit and let's work on one single file first. So I'm going to remove 2 of these files and just work on one of them. In the next video then, we will work on multiple files to remove the last character of all the files. So CSV files are just another type of text file. They happen to have a CSV extension, but you can open them in a text editor. So these are files that are separated by commas. By separating these files by comma, you have this well-defined structure to represent data. So for example, we have this ID and we have rows. 34 is the ID for the first item, 56 is the ID for the next item, 5 is the ID for the other item, and so on. But then we want to remove this comma. Let's see how to do that in Python. With open, of course, we want to use the open method file3.csv, and what do we want to do? We want to get the content of the file first. So we want to open the file in read mode as file and grab the content with file.read. So we save the content in the content variable. Now see if we got that right. So unindent and print content. And yeah, so that is the content. So this is a string, a plain Python string. And as you know, with strings, we can do slice operations. For example, we can get all the characters, but the last one. Run that. And you see that the comma is not there anymore because a string has an indexing system embedded, so the last character has an index of -1. That means the comma has an index of -1. And when you do this, you are saying, give me all the items from the item with index 0, which is I. So that has an index of 0, this has an index of 1, 2, 3 for A, and so on. And you also have this a negative indexing, so -1, -2, -3, and so on. So we get a 0, we get 1, 2, 3 until -1. So -1 is not included. You can run this again, you get the same thing. So that is the equivalent of that. So this is considered to be better because you avoid having to write the 0 there. Of course, if you write -2 there and run, the last 0 is going to go away also. -3, like that, and so on. So -1 is what we need. And we want to store this result in a new variable. So let's say modified content equals to that. Content with that slice. So modified content now has no comma at the end. What do we want to do with the modified content string now is open a new file. Now here you have to take a decision. You either write the same file name, so file.csv, as here, and that means you will override this file with the new content which does not have a comma. Or you can create a new file. To create a new file, all you have to do is give a new name to the new file, and that means you will not override the existing file. So like that, in write mode, as file, file.write, modified content, execute, and this is a new file without a comma. and that is the code. Let's try by overwriting the file, file3.csv, run. Now you go to file3.csv and you don't see the comma anymore. Whether you overwrite or create a new file, that is up to you. I would suggest that if you want to override the existing file, perhaps you want to make a copy first. Just copy the folder where your files are and put it somewhere else, just to back it up in case you screw things with Python. So that was an example on using file reading and writing in a practical example. In the next video, we will remove the comma from multiple files at once. So see you there.